Greetings, my noble knights. It is I, Blaze Templar, and I was watching one of my friends play Pokemon Sword and Shield VGC, and I went, you know what? I'm gonna give Gen 8 another opportunity to try to interest me, all that. And so I put together a team using a few staples and building something I thought would be relatively interesting, and it did have a big change in the near future, which we'll be showing that as well. But we're only going to do a couple games today as our video. Anyway, the team is, of course, our Tapu Bulu, our Heatran, a Tyranitar, Galarian Zapdos because of Defiant, Dracovish, which is actually which has really nice synergy with Tyranitar Sandstream. So it just goes in, Sand Rush wrecks things while it can. This isn't actually a Dynamax target because it loses Fishious Ren's special power, and it loses its Choice Band. So really not a great Pokemon to Dynamax. Porygon, of course, is actually an amazing Pokemon in VGC that I've seen so far. Anyway, my big targets for Dynamaxing are the Tyranitar and the Heatran in particular. Those two, because one's special, one's physical. So let's get started. Anyway, this was one of the battles I had pretty early on when I was still building the team up. So I lead Heatran and Porygon 2, figure the Intimidate is most likely going to come in. I read that like a book. I don't, unfortunately, read the Lapras, so that's unfortunate. So I'm going to have to switch Heatran out. I need to keep it around. It's just such a good check to a lot of his team. So he's going to immediately Dynamax with his Lapras, which is understandable, as he fakes me out with P2. I knew the fake out was coming. Figured it'd be on P2, but there really wasn't much I could do about it. I could have protected, but what's the point? I got Grassy Terrain. It's going to heal me back up to pretty much full anyway, so better to take the small risk. Anyway, I'm going to pull a double here, partially to get rid of the rain, and partially because I'm kind of predicting something to come for my Tyranitar, or my P2 slot, and lastly, because I'm trying to goad Lapras into the attack on Tyranitar. And because P2 can take that a lot easier. I go for the Horn Leech, heal up fully, very nice. Unfortunately, it does have that weakness policy, which is a big problem, but I can deal. So I'm going to switch Tyranitar out. It would just get destroyed by the Max Geyser. There's no way I'm staying in on that. So I'm going to go into P2, intimidate the Incineroar again, weakening further, and I barely survive that Max Geyser. I barely survive. But I do survive it, and that's what matters. I'm able to Horn Leech, take out the Dynamax Lapras, get Flare Blitzed again. Really doesn't matter. It's in rain. It's half attack power. It's really no threat at all at this point. Anyway, in comes Metagross, and I'm going to pull another switch because Heatran, I'm kind of predicting the Steel move, and yeah, that's exactly what happens. Meteor Mash. And my team is pretty slow, so I knew I wasn't going to win any speed ties. So I'm going to recover up so Porygon can stay in the game. And we're looking all right. Grassy Terrain is helping me more than him, but I'm going to hard switch now just to get that sand back up. And I'm going to just Magma Storm, take out the Metagross. So we're looking all right. Anyway, Flare Blitz is going to hit, do absolutely nothing. We resist that. It's in the sand. He's half... not that sand actually does anything for fire, but, you know, I'm in a really good position, and at this point, he knows he's lost. That's a very clean 4-0, which is basically a 6-0 in singles. So I'm not complaining. I think my lowest HP was, in fact, Porygon, which was at the 54% mark. So none of my Pokemon were below half health. Anyway, I did decide to change a few things up. As you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and double... Okay, so I dropped Galarian Zapdos as it was just too slow and too frail for what I needed. And I figured, you know what would be kind of fun? Scarf Circuitry. It hits incredibly hard. It's got like base 147 special attack, I want to say. So it hits incredibly hard. I can mess around with its speed tier by Dynamaxing, and so I lose the effects of the Scarf. It'll make it a great Dynamaxer, so I'll have 3 options for Dynamaxing. And of course, we still have our Dracovish. It just synergizes so well with Tyranitar, and if I can get the opportunity off, I'm going to go for that. Anyway, he's got a Dracovish as well, so that's something to note. Tapu Bulu, once again, of course, and naturally the P2 stays. So let's get into this. So he leads Tornadus and Metagross. Now, I know Tornaduses like to go for the Prankster taunts right away. It's one of the big deals they do that. But I really want to get the Trick Room off. I really do. And I'm willing to take the risk that he's not going to go for the taunt on P2. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. So Porygon's not going to do much this turn. And I'm going to just Volt Switch straight on out to Tapu Bulu, get the Grassy Terrain set up, and I'm going to get Max Mindstorm for my trouble. So that's unfortunate. This is not a great start for me, but I'm going to go into Tyranitar. I need to keep Bulu at least a little longer. Probably as Death Fodder, but I misread that and I get Steel Spiked for my troubles. That is unfortunate, but that's okay. I have Foul Play, so it's going to do a nice little chunklet. Unfortunately, he has the Weakness Policy, so this is looking really bad. Thankfully, Tornadus is going to die this turn. I can go into Xurkitree. Hope I don't get flinched with the Air Slash. Gonna Volt Switch on the Metagross just so I can keep Xurkitree. I know this is the key to surviving this battle and winning. So I'm gonna sack Bulu here. Unfortunate, but at this point we're gonna Foul Play again. This puts Metagross in range of a Thunderbolt, and that's actually huge because he's also going to lose his Tornadus this turn thanks to the Sand. So anyway, in comes Regieleki. I hate that Pokemon. I think it's dumb, but whatever. He's going to set up the light screen. Makes sense. Doesn't matter, though. Xurkitree's Thunderbolt just too strong for Metagross at this range. And I'm going to Trick Room. So I'm actually Scarf Xurkitree. So being in Trick Room sounds terrible, and it does. However, like I mentioned, we can mess around with our speed tiering by Dynamaxing, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to Dynamax. We're going to Foul Play the Regieleki and Max Lightning the Tapu Fini. I don't care if you have Light Screen up. That's a Max Lightning from +1 special attack. You're just going to get destroyed. So Xurkitree really coming through for us at the moment. And now that we're at +2 special attack, Xurkitree can go for basically whatever it feels like and be an absolute nuke, which in this case is the Max Starfall. And yeah, you're not surviving that. I'm sorry. It was a good game, and I'll admit I thought that this was going to be the first loss that this team was going to have. But no, we came through just fine. Xurkitree really turned things around for us, and I'm glad I kept it as long as I did. So while it does bite not to be able to get the Tyranitar off because it actually does have the Weakness Policy combo, I think we came out on top anyway. Xurkitree definitely was the great and best choice for our Dynamaxing this time around, and I just had to get rid of that Metagross before I did that, or at least weaken it enough anyway. So yeah, those are the two games I have for you today. I will probably be trying to stream and stuff in the near future. Again, I mean, I have been streaming off and on, but yeah, you'll see a little bit of why I'm a little hesitant at the moment with the Ring Fit video. I rolled my ankle, so I'm having to be a little more careful. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.